Bees: An investigation of the sudden decline of bees colony in Simril, and spreading awareness and providing solutions. Number 1. Decline in bees. When bees started to decline. In the year 1947, the bee population declined to about 6 million hives, and in fast forward to 2008, it declined to 2.4 million hives, a 60% reduction. Why bees are important? Why do we even need bees? Bees are important to us. Bees carry pollen and help flowers. Bees help fertilize plants between sexes. Bees are pollinators. Without them, we won't have as much flowers and not much honey left. Why are the population of bees declining? There are many reasons why the population of the bees are declining, but the few points that are decreasing the most bees can be pollution, climate change, loggers, and eating fresh honey. Pollution and climate change. Bees can be affected by the pollution because air pollution makes it harder for bees to sniff out flowers. It will reduce the pollination by as much as a third. As the world we are living in right now, you can guess about why pollution is harmful. Bees can indeed die because of this. By making it hard for the bees to sniff out flowers, they won't have nectar to create food in their home. It will make the bees suicide because it's hard to find a place to have shelter and a full stomach. Not only is pollution harmful to bees, climate change are also harmful. Is also harmful. Climate change disturbs the weather pattern of the planet, which, which can cause death for the bees. The temperature are rising, which makes the planet hotter and causes the bee to die. And by having the planet become hotter, the plants such as flowers will start to weaken. Loggers and eating fresh honey. You might be confused of why loggers are part of the decline of bees population, but if you think about it, loggers chop down trees, and trees are the homes of many bees. By chopping down trees, you are destroying homes of thousands of bees. Eating fresh honey is also harmful for bees because to get fresh honey, you must break apart homes of bees, which will cause the bee to die. To get fresh honey, you have to smoke away the bees, which is harmful for their health. 2. Crops yields affected. Crop yields affected. Why is the decline of bees affecting the decline of crop yields? They both extinct quickly and can also affect other bees around. Why? Bees need crops to make honey and get nectar. Crop yields need bees to pollinate the area in order to keep the crops growing slash plant reproduction. If the bees reduce, the amount of crop yields will reduce as well. And if crop dies out, bees will die out as well. This is why they need one another to survive. 3. Relationships. Relation Plant and bees. A flower is a plant and bees are our pollinators. Bees need nectar from a flower to survive, uh, and plant needs their pollen to be distributed in order for the plant to grow slash plant reproduction. With the population of bees declining, the majority of flowers are going to decrease. If bees don't just carry Bees don't just make us honey, but they also help the environment smell a bit fresher. Bees carry pollen between flowers and help fertilize them. Bees even help plants survive by inbreeding, good living. To put simply, without bees, the world wouldn't have as much flowers as we do right now. And without flowers, bees wouldn't be able to get nectar and would die because they can't make their home and food. 4. Solutions. There are many solutions to support the growth of the bee population, both individually and globally. I will introduce to you 3 ways to support the growth of the bee population individually. Of course, there are many ways to support the growth of the bee population, but I will talk about the little things we can do to make a difference. Things that can be done individually. Plant trees and flowers for the bees to live and get food from. Make a presentation for people you know to help share awareness of bees. Build native home for bees. Supporting the growth of bees. Bee garden. Bee garden. A bee garden is something that is made to attract bees. A bee garden is simple and anyone can do it. All you need is to plant flowers and trees. Most of the time, a bee likes trees with a lot of shade, so make sure you plant a good tree. Even if the bees won't build their hives on your tree, you still know that you are helping the environment and taking CO2 out of the air. Build home for bees. Bees can build their own homes, but sometimes their hives would get destroyed by humans to eat. Of course, they would have to flee the place. Building a hive takes a long time, but if you build one of these, it will be easier for them. Raise awareness. For this PT, we are raising awareness. One thing we can do to raise awareness is that we can make a presentation and present in front of people or in social media about the importance of bees and why we need. 5. Bees can do a lot. How do they do it? Many types of flowers have different scents and color, but these are the two things that help a bee locate a flower. First, the eyes of the bees will detect or smell and shade and color of a flower. How do bees know that there's a flower in the distance? Well, while looking in the distance, the bee will see the shape of the flower and move closer to it. When it's close enough, the scent will be picked up from the antenna and travel to the brain. Nectar is sweet and bees can taste neuron on their proboscis. Bees often visit flowers for nectar. Bees can taste sweet nectar easily because it's sweet. Scientists have found that when bees sense that a wasp is near, the bees would give their neighbors a heads up. If a honeybee is directly attacked or experience something threatening directly, either through sight or smell, it will send a one-time signal. cs.monitor.com. Thank you for listening and watching my presentation.